Like, comment, and subscribe.
Once upon a time, in a quiet town near the edge of a deep forest, there lived a merchant with 3 daughters. The man was wealthy once, known for his fine goods and wide ships that sailed across seas. But luck is a fickle thing, and storms wrecked his ships. Thieves stole his gold, and soon he was left with almost nothing. Still, he loved his daughters dearly, and they loved him in return. The 2 eldest daughters were proud, and often thought of jewels, dresses, and grand homes. But the youngest, whose name was Beauty, was gentle, kind, and thoughtful. She helped her father with housework, read books in the evenings, and sang songs that lifted their spirits when times were hard. One winter's day, word came that one of the merchant's ships had returned. Hope lit in his heart. Perhaps fortune had smiled again. He prepared to travel into the city to see if wealth awaited. Before leaving, he asked his daughters what gifts they would like. The eldest said, "Father, bring me fine silk, so I may wear dresses as noble ladies do." The second said, "Father, bring me a necklace of pearls, to show the world I am rich again." But Beauty only smiled and answered softly, "Father, bring me a rose, just a single rose, for no flower grows here in winter." The merchant kissed them goodbye and set out, dreaming of riches. But when he reached the city, he found his ship had been seized by debtors. His hopes sank like a stone. With nothing to offer but disappointment, he began his journey home. Snow fell thick as he rode through the forest. Night came, and the path grew hard to see. Soon he lost his way. The merchant wandered for hours, chilled and weary, when suddenly, through the snow, he saw a light. It came from a grand castle hidden deep among the trees. Desperate for shelter, he approached. To his surprise, the gates opened by themselves, as if inviting him inside. He entered a courtyard where fires burned warmly, though no servant was in sight. The doors to the castle swung wide, and inside he found a feast laid upon a table: meats, bread, fruits, and steaming wine. Hungry and cold, the merchant ate, and then, too weary to question, he fell asleep in a chamber prepared with soft blankets. When he woke, he found his horse in the stable, groomed and fed. Still, no host appeared. The merchant wondered if the castle was enchanted. As he prepared to leave, he remembered Beauty's request. In the garden, blooming against the snow, he saw roses, bright and red, as if summer still lived within those walls. He plucked one, thinking only of his daughter's gentle wish. The moment he touched the rose, the air shook with a terrible sound. A great beast stepped from the shadows. His form was half man, half monster, with eyes that burned and teeth that shone. His voice thundered, "Ungrateful man! I gave you food, shelter, warmth, and you repay me with theft. For that you shall die." The merchant fell to his knees, trembling. "Forgive me, my lord. I meant no harm. The rose was for my youngest daughter, Beauty, who asked for nothing else." The beast growled. For a moment he was silent. Then he spoke again. "If that is true, then you may live, but only if your daughter comes willingly to take your place. If she refuses, you shall return and die." The merchant agreed, sorrow heavy in his heart. The beast allowed him to leave, but not without fear. The merchant returned home with despair. His daughters rushed to him, asking of the journey. The eldest 2 were angry when they learned no riches had been gained, but Beauty listened quietly as her father told the tale of the beast. When he revealed the rose, she took it gently in her hands and smiled. "Father, do not be sad. If my life can save yours, then I will go to the beast. Perhaps he will not harm me." Her father wept, begging her not to make such a choice. But Beauty's heart was steady. "You gave me life, Father. I will not let it be taken from you now." So, though her sisters mocked her for being foolish, Beauty mounted the horse with her father and returned to the castle. The gates opened once more, and the beast appeared. He looked fearsome, his claws sharp, and his voice like thunder. But Beauty did not tremble. She bowed and said, "I have come, as you asked. Do not harm my father." The beast stared at her for a long moment. Then he turned to the merchant. "Go. She has chosen. If you love her, never return." With tears, the merchant kissed Beauty and rode away. From that day, Beauty lived in the castle. She expected darkness and cruelty, but instead she found wonders. The halls glowed with golden light. Gardens bloomed with roses in every color. Strange magic filled the place. Every evening, food appeared on her table as if by unseen hands. And every evening, the beast came to her. At first, he frightened her. His voice shook the walls, and his face was hard to look upon. But he never harmed her. Instead, he asked her simple things about her day, her thoughts, her dreams. At the end of each night, he asked the same question. "Beauty, will you marry me?" And each night, Beauty answered gently, "No, beast, I am not ready." He would sigh, but never grow angry. "Then sleep well," he always said, and left her in peace. Days passed, then weeks. Beauty wandered the castle, exploring its endless rooms. She found a library filled with books, paintings of distant lands, and music that played by itself when she wished. Slowly, the fear in her heart faded. The beast remained near, always polite, always listening. Though he looked terrible, his heart seemed kind. He gave her freedom, comfort, and never raised his voice in cruelty. She began to speak with him at length. They told each other stories, laughed at small things, and shared moments by the fire. In time, she looked past his monstrous face and saw the soul within, a soul that longed for love and feared only loneliness. But still, when he asked her each night, "Beauty, will you marry me?" she said, "No, beast, not yet." One evening, the beast saw sadness in Beauty's eyes. "What troubles you?" he asked. "I miss my father," she said. "I wish I could see him, if only once more." The beast thought for a long moment, then gave her a ring of gold. "Place this ring upon your finger, and you will wake in your father's home. When you wish to return, turn it 3 times, and you will be here again. But promise me, Beauty, do not stay away for long. Without you, I will die." Beauty promised. That night, she turned the ring and awoke in her father's cottage. Her sisters were shocked to see her alive, and her father wept with joy. For days she stayed, comforting him, telling tales of the castle. But her sisters grew jealous of her fine clothes and gentle happiness. They whispered lies to delay her return. "Stay longer, Beauty. Surely the beast will not mind." But one night, Beauty dreamed of the beast. He lay in the garden, weak and dying, whispering her name. She awoke in terror, realizing her promise was broken. At once she turned the ring 3 times and returned to the castle. The halls were silent, the fires cold. Beauty ran through the castle, her heart pounding. In the garden, she found the beast lying upon the ground, roses falling around him. She fell beside him, tears streaming. "Oh, beast, forgive me. I thought I had more time, but I was wrong. Do not die. I cannot bear it. I love you. I love you. The beast opened his eyes faintly. Beauty, you love me? Yes, she cried, with all my heart. In that instant, light burst through the castle. The ground shook, and the air filled with music. Beauty stepped back in wonder as the beast's monstrous form faded away. Before her stood a man, tall, noble, and kind, his eyes shining with warmth. "Do not be afraid," he said. "I was cursed long ago, doomed to remain a beast until someone loved me despite my form. You, Beauty, have broken the curse." The castle came alive with light. Servants once turned to stone now moved again, bowing with joy. Gardens bloomed brighter than ever. The prince took Beauty's hand. "Will you be my wife, not by duty, but by love?" And this time, Beauty answered, "Yes." They were married soon after, with her father beside her. Even her sisters, though jealous, could not deny the joy that shone upon her face. And so Beauty and the Beast, no longer beast but prince, lived happily ever after, not in wealth or grandeur alone, but in love that saw beyond what eyes could see.